Since the last few days, I've been watching this allegation happening on Nana Patekar. Yes, it's true. I'm sure sexual assaults or sexual inappropriate behavior happens. I've heard about it quite a few times in the course of my long career. And it's commendable that people like Tanushree or whoever are coming out and actually telling it in public, not to have fear, so that it will set as a kind of a warning to such people who do such behavior. It's commendable. Having said that, the thing for me, there's a difference between someone experiencing it. I'm not saying Tanushree is right or Nana is right or one of them are wrong. That is not the point what I want to make. The point I want to make basically is one feeling it compared to whether one intended to do it is my point. So today I'm going to talk about the incident which allegedly happened. I'm only going to talk about my experience with Nana Patekar as a person, as a human being. I know him for years. I've worked with him in certain films. We had long lapses in between. We haven't met each other for 5 years and then again we meet. The Nana, I understand. And we hear reports he's obnoxious, he's very hot-tempered, he's hard-headed. All of that is true. But does it come from an intention of him hurting somebody? Does it come from an intention of deliberately wanting to make a kind of a remark or do a gesture which is going to hurt the feelings of the other person? I completely disbelieve that aspect about Nana Patekar. To illustrate this, I want to just tell some experiences I've had with him. When I first came to Bombay, with great difficulty, I got Nana Patekar's number. And I called him. Those days there were no cell phones. I called him on the landline, and he picked up. And anybody would expect someone when they picks up the phone to say hello. And Nana started with Bol. So I was kind of a little taken aback, and it took me a little while to come to terms with that. And then I said, Nana, my name is Gopal Varma. I'm a film director हूँ हैदराबाद से South Indian industry से मैं आपको मिलना चाहता हूँ. He said, Aja, and hung up. No, that's very odd for anyone to be here, but that is Nana Patekar for you, no? And once, then with great difficulty I managed to get his address, and I went there, and I sat with him on the floor, and I was telling him the story of a film I intended to cast him as an actor. And halfway through the narration, he said, "Chai piega?" I said, "Haan, to udhar kitchen hai, ek mere liye bhi bana," he said. So, man, because it jumps from topic to topic at such alarming speed. So I understood after a while that he's asking me to actually go into the kitchen and make 2 teas for him and me. So I said, Nana, मुझे चाय बनाना नहीं आता. And he said, गांडू के नीचे इतने साल आ गए, अभी चाय बनाना भी नहीं आता तेरे को. माँ क्या सिखा दी तेरे को? चल तेरे माँ को फोन लगा. He said. And when I called my mom and he wanted to talk to him, अच्छा कहानी बता रहा है. गानू को चाय बनाना भी नहीं आता क्या, कैसी है? And of course, he's half in humor, half in his character, half in whatever he is. So once you know Nana as that kind of a person, you start loving him. You start feeling that he's a guy, he's a very special person. He's like a very, once in a blue moon you'll meet a man like Nana Patekar. I had one more experience with him where we were going in Pune. He came to pick me at the airport, and I went in, and there was a bike which was going in the front. I didn't really notice what was happening, and he suddenly sped up and cut them off and started giving him galis, the bike driver. I didn't understand what was happening, and then later I got to know that guy was speeding and he threw something on the road, so he gave him a lecture in civic duty in such harsh language. Is it appropriate? Maybe not. I don't know. But I think his intention was to make a strong comment on someone to be more responsible towards the city they're living in and the society they're living in. He comes across as harsh. He's very passionate about his work. There are instances where he threatens to beat up people because if someone is not doing right or someone is not doing it as passionately as him, he feels it's coming at the cost of that thing being destroyed for that time, and he makes a very strong comment on that. But that's not for himself, that's not to assert his power, that's not to assert his dictatorial or arrogant attitude. It is in his passion of wanting to see that gets right as possible. It comes out right as much possible. So in the context of all this, if it happened, I have no reason to disbelieve Tanushree when she says that something like he touched inappropriately or whatever the way she felt. But I would like to believe that Nana Patekar, I know, will never do it deliberately, will never do it wantonly, to actually hurt someone else. And I believe that I know him that well. But it's highly understandable the person who does not know that part of Nana Patekar can feel that is what his intention is. Like, I could have told now in the same breath of time, that guy is so obnoxious that he called me Gandu within 2 minutes of meeting me. I could have said that. I'm not saying it, but I understood that's not what he intends. That's not what he actually wants to make me feel. That's his way of speaking. That's his way of behaving. And like he's a guy who, after making so much of fame and wealth, he lives in a life as simple, which people will be shocked. Probably his living room is just 8 feet by 10 feet, and he sits on the floor and he takes care of his mother like unimaginable. I've never seen anyone do that, And he's the only person I know who does genuine charity. What is genuine charity, you might ask? If his remuneration is, let's say, 4 crores, he makes the producer give 2 crores to him and 2 crores to a charity organization on the producer's name, because he doesn't seek name for himself, and he wants to instill the charity kind of a mood in the people, charity kind of to make them feel guilty that they are not giving. They are giving Nana Patekar 4 crores, but they won't give 100 rupees to the charity organization which needs it, and he makes them give on their name, thereby inducing a certain guilt and a sense of a certain patriotic aspect, and to do something for the people who are needy. That is what, for me, Nana Patekar is. On a sum-up line, I would like to say, from all my experience, I have no reason, I have no connection to him in any which way, except him being a professional filmmaker and a professional actor. In my entire life, I have never seen a more finer human being than Nana Patekar. Forgetting about his talent as an actor, and the tremendous performances he comes up with is actually because of his very high sensitivity towards human emotions, very high sensitivity towards pain and hurt, because he experienced that a lot in his life. And I would like to believe, if at all this happened, and my appeal to Tanushree is, I'm not denying, if you experience it, you experience it. I would take your word for it. But the Nana I know would have never intentionally done it. Absolutely, I believe that extremely strongly, And with regard to how the car was attacked, who they were, and all that, even that I don't want to make a comment upon. But for me, the illogical thing in that, if Nana Patekar has a malicious intention of trying to, or any actor or any filmmaker in power, to do something to the girl because she has said something or she did something to him, they would want other filmmakers to shun her. They would probably want to influence someone else not to take her, and trying to very easily and in a very sneakish way to harm her prospects. I don't understand the logic of why somebody would send some political activist to do some ransacking thing to be caught by the media, and what purpose will that serve? Absolutely, I don't understand. So I just would like to request once again to Tanushree, I know you, and I know you're a great human being, but in this particular aspect, I really want you to relook at this thing. I think it is a misunderstanding you had, because Nana is not a person like that at all. In fact, he was the kind of a person I would believe that if someone does that to a girl, he would go and beat up without even asking. That is the kind of Nana I know, and he's the only Nana which exists. Is what I want to say just once for all. Thank you for listening.